welcome. Welcome to Leadership Tidbits with Coach T. Wilson. I am your host and leadership mentor, Tywauna Wilson. Happy New Year. I feel like it's been a couple of weeks at least since I have talked with you. So happy New Year. I hope your New Year is off to a fast start. And today's podcast is going to be one that you absolutely want to listen to. It's one of those ones that will fast track you and get you back on the right foot because we are in week 3. And if you have already gotten aside from your goals, this may be a way for you to get back on track. So we're going to talk about learning so that you can keep leading, so that you can keep growing. So come on in. Let me know where you're coming in from. Just drop it in the chat so that I can welcome you properly. And we'll go ahead and get started. So keep learning so that you can keep leading, keep growing. Think about that for your 2022 as you embark on this year and you're doing something new, something different. Think about how you can keep learning and growing yourself so that you can be better and better and better. I want to start off with just a quick video to kind of get you ready to start thinking about this topic.
I dare you to work on yourself for 6 months. I dare you to shut out the world. I dare you to shut out all the distractions. I dare you to give up everything that is keeping you from your dream.
Every day when I wake up, I got all kind of demands. You got all kind of demands. And the reason why you're not where you want to be, you taking all other people's stuff before you spend enough time with yourself to get to know you and get to know what you want and what you should do. Come on, y'all. Y'all heard it a million times. In case of an emergency, put the doggone mask on yourself first. And the problem with most of you in this room, you giving it to everybody else first. And then you pissed when you give it to everybody else first and you come up short and you wonder why you came up short because you gave it to everybody else first. Take care of you.
In order to have unbelievable choice and options in your life, in your pursuit of your dream, you must eliminate them. You must shrink your focus down to one thing, one business, one focus at one time, and master it and get great at it for an extended period of time. The irony of life is that the more you shrink your options in pursuit of your dream, the more it'll open them up in your life later. What are the things that are stealing your focus? Who are the people that are stealing your focus? And begin to eliminate these distractions. Get laser focused and obsessed on what you want. Be starving and hungry to get it. Be desperate to get it. The combination of desperation and hunger with laser focus over an extended period of time is the formula to be great at something. What's the immediate first massive action you're going to take? The first step, it's unplug the TV. It's remove the video game. It's throw out the junk food. It's remove a certain person from your life. I don't know what it is, but what is the immediate massive action?
You might have to lose something. Where you trying to go, you might have to give up some friends. You might have to give up some opportunities. You might have to give up some stuff to go from good to great. And everybody talk that talk. Everybody talk about going to the next level. Everybody's talking it until it's time to pay up. And when it's time to pay, there are people who not willing to pay. You're going to have to sacrifice some sleep to get this one. You can't get up at the same time. You're going to have to sacrifice some friendship to get to this one. You're going to have to sacrifice some entertainment to get to this one. And the only way you prove to yourself that you really want it is that you no longer hit the snooze button. You no longer lose focus when you're studying. You no longer take shortcuts. You no longer playing games. You are willing to do whatever it takes. I'll do whatever it takes to get to that milestone. It's your dream. Nobody's going to see it like you do it. It's your dream. Nobody's going to feel it like you feel it. It's your dream. Nobody's going to be as dedicated to it as you are. It's your dream, and they don't have to understand, and they don't have to like it. It doesn't make a difference. It's your dream, and you, my friend, have been given the task to make it happen, and you can't let anything stop you from doing what you were called to do.
So when I think about that video and I think about getting off to a fast start, I think being laser focused, being focused on the prize, being focused on your dreams, being focused on your goals. And in order to do that, growth is intentional. So, in order for you to go to the next level in your career, in your life, in your business, wherever it is that you want to go, you're going to have to be very intentional about getting there. So, what you do each and every day matters, right? And so that was one of the things that really hit home for me when I saw that video. It allowed me to refocus and recharge getting into the new year. And whether that's being at a healthy start with your health and fitness, whether that's with your career, whether that's with your leadership, whether that's with whatever goals that you set, you have to be intentional about it. And sometimes we just need that refocus, that restart, that recharge in order for us to get to the next level. So, a few tips I'll share with you today is first, you have to invest in yourself first. In order for you to be able to lead, you must learn. And it's the whole law of the lid. So, if you've ever read John Maxwell's 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, he talks about the law of the lid. And what that says is that your leadership ability always determines your effectiveness and your potential to impact, whether it's your organization or lead other people. So if your law of the lid, your lid is at an 8, that means those that are following you, those that you're over, will never be able to outperform you as the leader. So that means that they could never go beyond a 7 because your lid as their leader is an 8. Your lid as a parent is an 8. And that means that in order for you to continue to be able to be effective, you have to increase in your leadership, in your growth, in your knowledge, so that those that are coming behind you, those that you mentor, those that you lead at work, those that are following you are able to grow and increase in their leadership as well. So smart, talented people are only able to go so far following their leaders, depending on what their level of effectiveness is. So if there's limitations on the leader, there are limitations on the team. So, and I think about that. I think about everything that's going on now. As many of you know, I'm a medical laboratory scientist. And right now we are dealing with COVID. And let me just say kudos to all of the laboratory professionals out there, all of the laboratory teams out there who's working very hard behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, performing all of the COVID tests and doing everything they can to try to stay healthy and make sure that the others are healthy as well. So kudos to the lab professionals out there. But thinking about this topic and thinking about investing in yourself and your leadership, think about you can only take your team so far. So for those teams that were early adopters in COVID, those leaders probably had a pretty high law of the lid. They were able to have that insight to bring their teams forward to develop those tests relatively quickly, to be able to validate those tests quickly, and to be able to change with the changing times. I know that vendors are having issues with keeping supplies. And so being able to constantly reroute their teams, but still perform testing for their particular organization as well as the community. So it takes leaders with high lids to be able to move those teams forward. The people you lead, like I said, would only be able to go as far as you as the leader, as you as the mentor, as you as the business owner. You can make this apply to whatever situation you feel is applicable. But with you at the helm of the leadership, the organization, the business, the team, your mentees, the youth that you work with will only be able to go so far. And so this is why it's important for you to be able to invest in yourself so that you're able to pour into other people. All right. And so all leaders invest in themselves in they have a personal growth plan. So for you that are listening in or watching in, do you have a personal growth plan for your life, for your career, for your business, or even for 2022? Do you have a personal growth plan that you are following? If so, drop it in the chat. I would be interested to know if you do, how many people actually have a personal growth plan. Or are you just like, okay, I'm going to grow today, and it's not really an intentional program that you're on? Be a continual learner. The greatest obstacle to discovery really isn't ignorance, it's the lack of intelligence. It's the illusion that you already have made it to a certain point, that you have already made it to the top of the mountain. Studies show that the most average person does not subscribe to continuous learning outside of a formal degree. So people get their degree, they get their certification, or any other credential like that, and then they kind of stop. But most times you have to subscribe to a lifelong learner, being a continuous learning, because the environments are constantly changing. So how many times have you seen people achieve a certain level of education and then they get comfortable or they get relaxed about learning something new? And that happens all the time. It's like, well, I got this master's degree, I got this PhD. Like, what else do I need to learn right now? Interestingly enough, I just did a different podcast with an educator that had over 30 years teaching experience, teaching the same program for 30 years, tons of knowledge, very passionate about what she did. And one of the things that she mentioned in this interview with her is that how COVID changed how she was able to deliver her program with her students. They were remote for a period of time. They were not able to get into hospital sites for clinicals. And she said that she had to be creative. And she said, even though I've been doing this for 30 years, basically with a proven track record, I was forced to do something different. I was forced to learn new things. And she said, I can learn new things. I can do things different. She said, I had to get on social media. I had to utilize Facebook and YouTube and things that she didn't normally utilize in her program to be able to provide an experience for her students so that they can still go out and learn and be productive scientists. And so that just lets you know that it doesn't matter how many years of experience you got, how much education you have, that you still should subscribe to lifelong learning and not get comfortable, because things change. I mean, you can have a pandemic and things of what you thought you knew, now it's like you're constantly learning or implementing something different, or the direction might be changing. So to progress as a leader is to transition from being a person of answers to a person of lessons, meaning that you are constantly learning, growing, reading. I read an interesting article recently, and it said the difference between who you are today and who you are last year is the books that you read. That's the biggest difference of who you are or who you will become by what you're reading. So, are you reading any books? Are you subscribing to learning something new, being a continual learner? And you can learn in a variety of facets. It could be formal education, it could be reading new books, it could be here like you are today, watching or listening to this podcast. It could be other podcasts, it could be audio books, it could be master classes, it could be webinars. There are so many ways that you can get information today that there's really no reason why you can't subscribe to being a continual learner. Maybe it's reading blog articles, being in networking groups. There's just so much information out there today. The law of process. So, the law of process states that leadership develops daily, not in a day. So, the secrets to your success is found in what you do each and every day. So, if you find that each and every day you're overwhelmed and you're on the go and it seems like everything is in disarray, it probably is. And it means that what you are doing each and every day are habits that are not setting you up for success. So, being intentional about cultivating your garden, watering your garden, planting those seeds, and you'll plant those seeds today, and you may not see anything for a week, a month, 6 months. It could be next year where you start to see where those seeds are starting to grow. And so, being intentional about cultivating your garden, and several small action steps lead to success. And as we are at the beginning of 2022, what you do today, and don't be so hard on yourself if you started a routine and maybe you haven't stuck with it. Today is a new day to get started on it again. So those several small steps of action. What can you do today? What seeds can you plant? One of the things that I've committed to, and I've been pretty committed to it for the past couple of weeks since I started, is carving out that block of time in the morning before I get started for my meditation, for my prayer, to read my Bible, and to do any kind of reflection, 20 to 30 minutes at the top of my day. And before, I would do it sometimes. I would be on the go. I would be in the car, trying to read my word as I'm walking out the door. And I would do all of those things, and it would just set my day up for chaos. And it seemed like I would be always behind the eight ball of just trying to get things in order. And so I had said going into this year, I was going to be intentional about blocking out that time each and every morning. So when I get up, I don't check my phone. I don't take my phone to the bathroom because those are distractions that slow you down. And so, and I don't do any of that. I don't even look at my phone until after I have had my time of meditation, reflection, saying my affirmations. And I would use the excuse before that I don't really have enough time. I don't have time to do this, X, Y, and Z. But the reality is you make time for what's important to you. And so I said, I'm going to take that time block every day to do my meditation, do my reflection, and I'm going to go to the gym at least 3 to 4 times a week. And here this year, I've been in the gym most weeks, it's been 4 times a week, sometimes five, but I committed to go 3 times a week. And even if I only have 20 minutes, 30 minutes, that's 20 minutes of activity that I would not have had if I didn't go otherwise. And so, starting with those small action steps starts to lead to success, cultivating your garden. And that's so important, whether you lead people, whether you're a team member, that you have those daily success habits for yourself, because the world is chaotic, it's filled with chaos, it's filled with distractions. And you need that time for you to start to learn, to grow, to develop, to set yourself up for those success habits. And if you think about it, it's like investing in the stock market. So you are investing in your future, you are planting those seeds. And like with your 401k or 403b, depending on your employer, you'll put some money away, put a little bit away today, put a little bit away tomorrow. And then once you get to retirement age, then you will have a nice pool of money, hopefully, that you can enjoy your years in retirement. And so think about that when you think about growing yourself and investing in yourself and continuing to grow. There's a quote by Benjamin Franklin. I used to say it all the time, but an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. And that is true, that once you invest in your own growth and your own knowledge, it doesn't matter what employer you work for. It doesn't matter what pandemic we may come across what, or affect our world. There's nothing that nobody can take away from you when you have that knowledge. You can't take knowledge away from somebody. And that's the only thing really that you have that will grow and grow and grow. So the whole law of process. So I want you to think about, what is it that you're doing each and every day? What are you doing to grow? What are you doing to develop? What are you doing to increase your leadership lid or your growth lid? So I asked you this question: are you in the zone? So we're thinking about growing ourselves and leading. Are you in the zone? Are you in the challenge zone, the comfort zone, or the coasting zone? You are in one of these zones in your life. And in different areas of your life, you could be in different zones. So the challenge zone, you attempt to do what you haven't done before, meaning that you explore new things and sometimes you fail. And that's a good place. That's one of those zones where you're trying new things. You're not afraid. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But you're not afraid to try something new. So you're not afraid to try and say, I'm going to get up every day at 4 a.m. And if it works, it works for you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Maybe 5 o'clock is a better time for you. Maybe it's, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to commit to reading a book a month. That would, for some people is a challenge. The average person doesn't even read a book a year. So that could be a challenge. That could be trying something new. Maybe it's going and joining a group that you've been wanting to join, but you haven't been able to do that yet. So putting yourself in that challenge zone in different areas of your life. Think about your career. Are you playing it safe? Are you comfortable and have been comfortable for some time? It could be time for you to move out and get into a challenge zone, doing something, working on a project that might be new to you. The comfort zone, you do what you already know. So there's no risk. There's no risk taking. You become complacent. And so are you in the comfort zone? So you went out of 2021 and you said, I'm going to go into 2022 and I'm going to do some new things. But yet you're still doing exactly the same thing you were doing on December the 31st. Are you in the comfort zone? Is everything that you're doing, is it comfortable? Even if you are working out, is your routine comfortable? Meaning that you have not put on extra weights. You're not doing any additional strength training. Have you just gotten comfortable with walking on the treadmill 20 minutes a day? And that's great. But if you've been doing that for the past year, it's time to graduate and get out of the comfort zone. So look over your life and think, am I comfortable? Am I in the comfort zone? When you think about your learning and your growing and your education, have you gotten comfortable with where you are? And then the last zone is the coasting zone. And you don't even do what you've done before. So you don't, at that point, you don't even try anymore. You like, it is what it is. I'm not going to try to do anything new. I'm not even doing what I used to do. And now you're not taking any risk and you don't even try. When you think about your life, are there some areas of your life that you may be in the coasting zone? So you think about, you're growing, you're developing, you're networking. Are you in the coasting zone where maybe you did go to mixers and you after work events, or, meeting new people? But now you like, I'm not even about to even try to do that. Are you in the coasting zone? So I want you to take inventory over your life and see where in those areas in your personal life, your professional life, in your career, in your spiritual life, in your financial areas, in all areas of your life, what zone are you in? And you could be in different zones, like I said before. Are you in the challenge zone where you are doing some things new, doing things you haven't done before? Are you in the comfort zone where you do what you already know? It's easy, it's like clockwork. You don't even have to think about it. Or are you in the coasting zone where you don't even do what you were doing before? You just like, I quit. Which zone are you in those areas of your life? And I challenge you to get a notebook and write it down. It's helpful to journal and write things down for your reflection. And John Maxwell says this. He says, read, listen, think, and file daily as part of your growth regimen. So what do you do? What do you need to do when you think about, you know, moving in and out of these zones? And where areas do you need to read, listen, think, file, and do something different or escalate what you are already doing? Creating your growth environment. Again, we're all about learning, growing, and thinking about those things that we can use to apply and move ourselves to the next level. And so, creating your growth environment. These are 10 characteristics of growth, of a growth environment. And when this occurs, your people will grow, but others will also desire to be a part of it. And so, thinking about your growth environment, you'll grow, your people will grow, but others are ahead of you. So, when you think about your growth environment, your community, are you in an environment where there are others that are ahead of you? They are in a place where you desire to be, but you're not quite there yet. So they are a level above where you are, or two levels, but it's exactly where you want to go. They are continually challenged. So, continually being challenged, meaning trying new things, not being in that comfort zone for too long, and definitely not being in the coasting zone, but in areas where you are continually challenged. Is your focus forward? Meaning that you are laser focused on the goals that you want to do. And is that focus forward? Where is it that you want to be next month, next week, tomorrow? So, thinking about your areas of focus. As part of your growth environment, do you have an atmosphere that's affirming? Are you around people who are positive, that are going to uplift you and keep you positive and moving forward? When you're trying new things, it's going to be difficult sometimes, but are you around people that will say, you're doing good job, I'm going to help you stay accountable to your goals? Do you have that as part of your growth environment? Are you out of your comfort zone? As we know, nothing grows in the comfort zone. So it's okay to be in the comfort zone for a little bit, but don't stay there too long, because that's when growth stops. Does your growth environment have you waking up excited? Are you excited about going to the gym? Are you excited about your mentoring, meeting with your mentor? Are you excited about the job that you do each and every day? Are you excited about whatever projects or programs you're a part of? Does your growth environment, where it has failure is not your enemy, in order Successful people know that failure is a part of the process. So, do you have that as part of your growth environment, knowing that, yep, I'm going to fail. I tried it, didn't work. I learned from it, and I move forward. Are you an area where others are growing too? So if you look around your area, look through your phone, look through the people that you spend the most of your time with, and are they growing too or no? Because you are the average of your top 5 friends in your network. The 5 people you spend the most of your time with, you are the average of them. So if everybody is growing and learning and developing and moving forward, then you're probably in a very good growth environment with rich soil. If you look around and everybody's like coasting, comfortable, then you might want to pick up your seeds and put them in another garden that they can grow and develop in a different environment. Are you in an environment where people desire change? Like you tired, you don't want to stay the same. You want to be better. You want to do something different. And then growth is modeled and expected. Where people like, listen, I expect you to be better than you were last week. That's when you know if you got you a good trainer. So if you were a personal trainer and your trainer is like, last week you had 10 pounds. Like this week, I expect you to be doing better because I know you have it in you. I know this week we're ready to graduate to 15 pounds, 20 pounds. So growth is modeled, they're consistent, and it's expected for you to be consistent and grow as well. So I want you to think about that. Think about the characteristics that you have in your garden, in your environment. Do you have all of these things? Are you missing any of these things? So think about it. And if you are missing some of these things, today is a good day to get started creating a growth environment to move forward. So surround yourself with people who will take you to the next level. That's very, very important. Your net worth is your net worth. So you need to surround yourself. Actually, I said that wrong. So your net worth is your net worth. So surround yourself with people who will take you to the next level. That's very important. Great people, they'll try to bring you up, bring the greatness out of you. Small people, on the other hand, they want to keep you right where they are, comfortable and coasting. And they'll try to put limitations on you. So if you have these big, audacious dreams and you are hanging around a bunch of small people, they're going to be like, how are you going to do that? You going to do what? You think you can do that? But if you're around great people, they're like, okay, well, let's see how we can help you do it. Let's see how we can get you to that next level. So surrounding yourself with people to the next level is critical. Establish your own personal board of directors too. You may call them your village. You may call them your community, whatever you call them, your network of people that will be honest with you and challenge you to be better, give you feedback, provide mentorship with you. So making sure that you surround yourself with people that will take you to the next level is going to be very important as you keep learning to keep leading. So I want you to reflect a little bit about what I talked about today, but as you continue to embark on your 2022 and think about what is your plan for your personal growth, because we've already talked about how you have to be intentional, how you have to be focused, how you have to be committed, but it's going to take some accountability, especially if this is something new for you. I know for me, being able to check in and have people hold me accountable to what I said I wanted to do for my life, for my career, for my business, for my goals is very important. So keep having somebody to keep you accountable. If you said you're going to go to the gym 3 times a week, having that accountability, if that's a part of your personal growth plan. If you said you're going to read a book a month, Maybe get somebody that's interested in reading a book a month too. So that will allow for you to be able to discuss the book and see what big ideas that were shared. How are you cultivating a growth environment? So for yourself and for those that are connected with you. So how are you connecting, cultivating that growth environment? Think about that. So, and you can do this. So think about the books, the workshops, seminars, conferences you might attend as you think about your personal growth. Are the people connected to you growing from their connection with you? So are they better? So the people, think about the people that you have in your life. Go through to your phone, go to your phone, think about the people that's connected with you and think, are they benefiting from their connection with you? Are they growing? Are they developing from having that connection? So you want to think about how not only can you be better and be a continual learner, but how can you help those that are around you be better as well? So that's all that I have for you. You could definitely reach out and connect with me depending on where you are watching this broadcast. If you're watching a video version or if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, you can connect with me on LinkedIn, Tywauna Wilson, or you could go to my website, tywaunawilson.com. And I just want you to be able to be a continuous learner, learn, grow, and develop. I hope and pray that this 2022 for you is your best year yet. So drop in the comments, in the chat. I would love to hear what are the things you are going to commit to learning or growing in this year, even in this month, or even after listening to this podcast. What are you going to commit to? And maybe you're like, I need some help. Like, I know what I could do. I know how I can learn and grow. And maybe if that's you and you need some help, or you want to be in a community of other people who are learning and growing and committed to personal growth and development, then I invite you to check out the Standout Leader Academy. I invite you to join it and be connected with other leaders who are learning, who are growing. There are two options for you for all of my laboratory leaders out there. We have our monthly roundtables, which our first roundtable will be the roundtables are the fourth Thursday of every month. So that's a way to network and to be connected with other leaders. And then we have our monthly uh, mentorship, which the calls for that are the second Thursday of the month. So I want you to get connected. I want you to get the support you need. I want you to be better tomorrow than you are today, because tomorrow's floor is today's ceiling. Do me a favor, share this podcast out with your network, with your community. They may need to hear the wisdom that was shared today. And if you have missed any of the episodes, you can always go back. You can hear the audio version on directimpactbroadcasting.com. Join us next week. We have an awesome mentor who will be joining us. She is a trademark attorney, so she'll be talking to us about how to trademark our intellectual capital, which is very important. And so as you're growing and learning and developing, you may have some intellectual capital that you need to trademark. So stay tuned next week for that. And until the next time we meet, I hope you have an amazing day.